My guest today is one of Canada's leading beauty and fashion experts. She's received a number of awards for her work as a makeup artist, and she's worked as a beauty educator and spokesperson. And if that's not enough, she's designed her own line of jewelry and swimwear. Well, joining me in the studio is Cheryl Gushue. Hello, I'm Shannon Skinner, and this is Extraordinary Women TV. Before you meet Cheryl, just to let you know that later in the interview, before I take a break, I'll have my regular Good to Know Minute when I ask my guests for their top success tip. And you'll hear Cheryl's. Welcome to the show, Cheryl.
Thank you.
It's so nice having you here.
Nice to meet you.
Well, you're multi-talented.
Thanks.
You started you've had a long career now in as a makeup artist. You've designed your own jewelry, your own swimwear. What inspired you to become a makeup artist in the first place?
Well, my background's actually fashion design, and of course fashion and beauty go together really well. And I don't know, just one thing kind of led to another, and sometimes when a door opens and someone says, hey, can you do that? And I say, okay, and next thing you know, here I am in a whole different career. But because they do relate, and I always had an artistic flair as a kid, I really loved to draw. I was a really good illustrator. So I think that really works well in terms of makeup, because it really, it's kind of like, it's an artistic, creative thing, right? So the canvas is the face this time.
And so, having worked around fashion and beauty for many years, what have been some of the challenges that you have faced?
It's pretty tough to break into the industry, first of all. I really think you should walk before you run. A lot of times you want to just get into the business right away, but there's so many things that you need to learn before you can get to that certain level of success, or even just working with people, learning from them, and hopefully learning from someone else's mistakes even, so that you don't make them. But it's a long process, and it takes some time, and like I said, doors open, and I just kind of take it and run with it and see where it takes me next.
Have you experienced a lot of sort of a negative image with fashion in media? What's been...
Yeah, well, Dove does it best, right?
Yeah.
With that commercial, with how they show a woman and how they show all the retouching. Every image that we see out there in the magazines, they've all been retouched, every single one of them. Every photographer works with retouching. So we have to think about how that image is actually not real. And, for women in beauty and real women, I like to just bring out somebody's natural beauty and, really focus on, their eyes or their lips or whatever it is that they really love about themselves. And I think that's really important for us to know that our beauty does come from within. And although we can make ourselves look beautiful on the outside, it really starts from within.
So tell us about some of the work that you've done as a makeup artist.
Wow, it's been about 18 years.
Yeah.
And I did start in the retail area, on the cosmetic counters, and that was good experience, because you learn customer relations and dealing with the public. And from there I went to work with the salon industry. So I worked with salons for maybe about 4 or 5 years, and then started branching out from there, doing shows and special events. And then I was working with salons that we did a lot of photo shoots. So there's the Contessa's and the Mirror Awards and the Nahas. Those are the big hairdresser Academy Awards for the hair industry, and I had won all 3 of them. And we enter them every year, and I've worked with so many amazing stylists, and I can't tell you how many numerous international hairstylists, and travel around the world because of it. So it's been a lot of fun for me.
In terms of your jewelry, now I have to say, I'm wearing a piece of your jewelry today.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for allowing me to wear your jewelry. Let's just talk about your inspiration to create jewelry in the first place.
Yeah, well, you know what, it kind of just started because I'm doing these shoots and shows, and when I have a vision for my brand, so my swimwear Cascada Blue, I have a vision of what I want it to look like, so instead of me going out and shopping for it, I just make it. Yeah, I like doing bold, editorial-looking accessories, so that just became a little bit of an extension of the collection.
And now you have your own swimsuit collection as well.
Yes, I do.
And okay, so what sparked? I mean, how did you come up with an idea of
swimwear?
Swimwear,
yeah. You know what? I traveled a lot, and I always bought swimwear when I went somewhere. You know, being from Toronto and being in a cold city, there's not really much selection in terms of swimwear here, so I'd always buy it there. So actually, I just found this great fabric once, and when I saw this fabric, I thought this would make a good bikini, and I made a bikini out of it, and then I decided to make a collection, and then the collection became a fashion show, and the show became 5-6 shows in the city, which became a studio, and then I started making stuff for friends, and it just kind of snowballed, and now I have a swimwear line. So I launched Cascada Blue 2 years ago. So yeah, this is our 2nd year, and it's resort wear as well. So it's cover-ups and, you know, really sexy beach pieces that you can take, you know, from the beach to the club.
Because, you know, it is hard to find a bathing suit that just really fits you very well.
Yeah, there's a lot of fit challenges when it comes to swimwear. Absolutely.
So women can actually order a bathing suit then online?
Yes, we can order online, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's a sizing
size chart. Okay. What I wanted to do with this collection was make it very versatile, and a lot of different sizes can wear it because it's a lot of soft ties. So a lot of things with ties, so you can tighten it or loosen it, and very comfortable. Comfort is really important to me. Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, like, what are you doing now in terms of, I know you've got something exciting that you're working on in your business. Yeah,
I always have my hands in a lot of pots. It must be the Gemini in me. Right now I'm working on a beauty project with Mary Trippy Salon, and we're about to open an amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, big boutique/salon. I think Toronto hasn't seen anything like this, so I'm really excited about it. Can't tell you too much yet, but it's going to be a fun project, and something that allows me to take everything that I do in terms of fashion and beauty and spokesperson and PR and all my students, because I've also taught makeup programs, and I can put them all in one spot now. We're
just going to take a quick break, and that means it's my Good to Know Minute, and I know you've got a great success tip, Cheryl.
Yes, I do.
So jump right in there.
Okay, well, I think for me, in terms of what I've done in the beauty industry, it was really important for me to brand myself. So it's about really getting my name out there and doing what I can on the PR front. And I don't have an agent, so I really had to make sure I did whatever I could to get my name out there. So the branding and sticking true to your brand, I think, is very important.
Brand and stick true to your brand. Mm-hmm. Thanks for that. That's good to know. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more on Extraordinary Women TV. So stay where you are. Welcome back to Extraordinary Women TV. I'm speaking with Cheryl Gushue. She is a beauty and fashion expert based here in Toronto. I'm really enjoying this conversation with you now. You're a makeup artist on a number of shows, including the Stephen Chris show, I understand.
Yes, actually, just recently this season, I've appeared on the show several times, and I've been doing segments on mature beauty.
Mature beauty?
Yes, yeah. I think there's not a lot of people addressing mature beauty, and it's just something that it's very simple for me. It's just about using less is more, and really focusing on creating a lash line that gives your eye a lift, and giving the brows a nice clean shape, which I call a non-surgical eye lift, and adding a little color to your face. And it's just about not overdoing it and keeping it very subtle.
So in all these years that you've worked around beauty and fashion, what have you learned about yourself?
I've learned I'm very adaptable. I think I kind of have to be. I've become a people person big time, because I deal with so many different people. And for me, that's what I love about the business. I love that every day is different, and that I get to meet so many different, unique, wonderful women. And you know, it's a creative business, so I've got my hands into different things, and I think that it really made me more well-rounded for everything that I do.
And how would you define beauty?
Beauty is just so different. Everybody has their own version of beauty. You know, every woman I look at, every face I look at, I see beauty. So I always try and enhance that. And a beautiful person to me is beauty. You know, you can have the most gorgeous girl in the world, but if she doesn't have that personality and that kind of radiance, then she's not as beautiful. You know, I just think it comes within.
We've been wearing makeup for, as
Since
women
we were
for centuries.
teenagers.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, as soon as you can put makeup on as a kid, you'd be putting makeup on, right? Yeah.
But what does, you know, if beauty comes from within, what about how we feel about ourselves?
Well, how we feel about ourselves, we should take care of ourselves, first of all. You know, I think that's the bottom line, just health-wise, and you know, just eating right and taking care of ourselves, and that actually helps. And then, of course, you know, looking great. You want to put a fabulous suit on, and your makeup's done, your hair is done. That gives you that confidence as well. So it's kind of it's a big picture. It's a few things that will actually, you know, help you get on with your day.
And what about for women who, as you said, sort of less is
more.
Less is more. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of, I've noticed, media have been covering a lot of women from Hollywood actresses as they catch them out without makeup. And it's like, so-and-so is not wearing makeup. This is what they look like.
Yeah.
And they look gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, everyone's had a bad picture taken of them, and that's just the tabloids, right? They're going to try and capture a bad shot. Of course, then they do have a beauty team of, you know, hair, makeup, estheticians, their whole entourage following them. I would love to have an entourage too. But, you know, when you take a bad shot, what are you going to do? That's just the tabloids, right?
For any woman who is interested in becoming a makeup artist and following that path as a career, what advice would you have for her?
I would say walk before you run. You have to take some lessons, learn from the best, do as much as you possibly can in terms of shoots and connecting with people, and, you know, educate yourself as much as possible. You know, learning is it takes time. You just can't do it overnight. So, you know, pay your dues. Once you pay your dues and you get your experience, and then things start falling into place. But you have to walk before you run.
Walk before you run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cheryl, I've really enjoyed this time with you.
Me too.
And I wish you all the best with your new project with Mary Trippy Hair Salon here in Toronto. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to come of that.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun, and we'll see you there for sure.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Well, thanks again, and wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you.
Well, for more information about my guests or to watch past episodes, I invite you to visit the website at extraordinarywomentv.com, and be sure to follow me on Twitter for updates. Well, if you are interested in transforming your life, I hope these stories have inspired you. You've been watching Extraordinary Women TV. I'm Shannon Skinner. See you soon.